Alright, we are live. Hello everyone! I just came back from the Mario movie, and oh my god, I absolutely enjoyed it. I think it was probably the best animated movie I have watched all year round. It is probably the best video game movie. Oh my god, I absolutely loved everything about the movie. It's just so beautiful. Like, the story was great, the characters were amazing, like, everything about it. I absolutely enjoyed the movie. So, I'm gonna try and get through. So, I believe I watched it in 4D. I believe it was 3D, 4D. Something like that. So, while I was watching the movie, I was basically, like, being shook around, there's rumbling, and, like, the visuals were, like, a little bit blurry, but I was able to, like, it did start to feel, like, a little bit more clear as the movie progressed. It might have been just my eyes, like, getting used to it. But, yeah. It was absolutely amazing. It really felt so cool. It did feel a little bit reminiscent of the 3DS, this 3D effects, but, yeah. I absolutely enjoyed it. So... and oh my god, the Easter eggs. I absolutely enjoyed all of them. All the jokes, the references, they made me smile. And, like, gave me so many... It gave me all the giggles. Like, it was that fun. So, let's go ahead with the cast. So, Chris Pratt, as I said before, maybe you may not have, heard, but I'll say it again. I enjoyed Chris Pratt. I know some people didn't, like, I guess at first glance, or, like, at first listen. Oh, hello, Moonis! You're here!
Hi.
So, did you see the movie? Because I'm going to spoil the literal shit out of the movie.
Yeah, I've seen all of it. I literally arrived, like, a little too early in my theater just to, like, watch this film. Yeah. I have the popcorn buckets here to prove it as well.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've seen the film. I'm ready to talk spoilers.
Yes. So, actually, let's start with the cast. Let's start with Mario, Chris Pratt. Now that we've seen him in action, how do you think he did with Mario?
I think it's a miscast. He's better than he is in the trailers, but ultimately, like, he really doesn't give Mario vibes to me at all. Which, I mean, not that that's really a shock to anybody, because, like, that was, like, the major criticism everybody had with the initial reveal, but, yeah.
Well,
it was a serious miscast.
Well, I think you need to, like, remember that, like, Mario's supposed to be, like, the everyman, so, of course, like, maybe he might not stand out, but that's kind of just how the everyman is. But I really look at it at the heart and soul of it. Because I think he does a good job portraying as, like, the everyman. Go ahead, Moonis.
I think part of the problem is, like, his investment in his acting, if you know what I mean. Like, the lack of it in his voice is very noticeable. Like, you can kind of tell at times that this is clearly just for a paycheck. Like, when he's getting hurt, for example, he's not, like, delivering, like, super ouch noises. He's just kind of going, like, ooh, you know, instead of, like, actually, you know, letting loose and sounding hurt. Even though you're a voice actor, this is, like, part of the job. It's to, like, convey, you know, character emotion and whatnot through, like, your voice. While the animation might make him look as though he's, like, yelling to the top of his lungs, like, the actual voice that you hear just feels disconnected. And so, that's, like, a huge part of the investment as well, because of the fact that you see so much of this movie. I mean, I think they even recognize that, too, because, like, they straight up either remove lines from him entirely or even cut down scenes in this movie. Like, when he gets a cheap stuff to his face, like, that whole sequence is cut down short by, like, lots. Sorry. But, yeah.
I don't know. I guess I didn't realize that because keep in mind I was in 4D, meaning that, like, my seat was, like, shaking and rumbling, and, like, I was being sprayed with mist and stuff. But I don't know. I thought Chris Pratt did fine. But I did like how he, along with Charlie Day, did their more game accurate Mario impression in the commercial, which I absolutely loved.
Yeah. If you look at the credits, the guy that who's like playing the arcade next to him when he's like talking about the voice.
Oh yes,
That's Charles Martinet doing the voice, but he also plays Mario's dad in this, who has like the weirdest haircut ever.
well, that's supposed to be in reference to. No wait, no. Hold on. I need to remember. I don't.
For those that don't know, he's basically like he's got like a giant bald spot at the top of his head.
I think it's supposed to be in reference to Talon, because like Talon's supposed to be like Mario-esque, so.
Who's Talon?
From Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. But yeah, I think having Charles Martinet play as that type of character, I think was was very nice and symbolic.
Yeah, it's a nice touch. I do like the idea that he's like the dad. The problem is that he doesn't get enough lines, and like I had no idea he was the dad until the credits happened.
Yo, me too.
And so like, yeah, it's kind of interesting how like his voice can actually like sound normal, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Instead of like just being like the super optimistic Mario that we're accustomed to hear.
Well, I gotta at least give the props for how they wrote Mario as like a hardworking individual that doesn't give up. I think that's like the heart and soul to this movie, and like I think really anyone could try to relate to.
I have problems with that as well. I'm not sure like what his arc even is supposed to be in this movie.
Really?
I said it in my massive tweet, which, yeah, just before this I was like working on a tweet, basically putting out all my thoughts. But in one of them, like I basically talked about like Mario's like the problem that I have with him, like as a character in this movie. It's like I don't think his arc is very clear in this film, and he's like, and there's like a weird part where like the car doesn't like work at all, which weird considering the fact that it's advertised to hell at that big damn, but only for it to like only appear for like a second in the movie. It just doesn't function. But anyway, it's like the excuse to like show off his platforming skills, and it's like, and he's like really good in that department. But then all of a sudden, when he's in the training montage, he just doesn't. He's like all of that skill that he just had is gone now.
Well, I mean, keep in mind he's in like a different world that has no ground, no walls, so of course it's going to be a bit different and difficult.
Well, I guess part of my problem is the fact that because he fails the first jump immediately, even though like I think things that should make him like fail, if you know what I mean, should be like things that are like otherworldly, as opposed to things like platforming, for example. Like I feel like that's the thing that should like make him like sort of out of his element, and that he has to like work towards improving. But instead, the movie just like goes, no, now he's suddenly terrible at everything, and he has to like work to get better. And it's like, what? But you just showed me earlier that he's like doing all this flips and shit, like in the real world, and you're telling me that he just can't do it in this one anymore. And it's like, it just there's like that disconnect, and I don't know. I get that feeling that the movie's just lying to me, and it's not actually like portraying Mario correctly.
Well, I don't know. Okay, well, is that all you have to say about Mario?
Oh no, I have way more.
Okay, go ahead.
He has so much plot armor in this movie, it's kind of unreal. Like, the things that he survives in this, from like getting thrown into like concrete, but like getting punched by like a just giant muscleman, like most of the time, it's kind of insane. I think the biggest example of plot armor is when a blue shell like explodes the car in his face, and then like he falls off from that and falls like a really high height to like the ocean. And at that point, I was just sort of disconnected from the film, and like it kind of reminded me of like in another movie called The Mitchells vs. the Machines, where like the human characters survive an elevator crash, even though they're humans, and it's like I don't know, like when you show me them surviving an elevator crash, and like the tone of them isn't quite the same as something like Tom and Jerry, to where a character could literally be sliced in half and be okay in like the next shot. It's like without that tone, it just kind of makes me disconnected from the film, and like kind of makes it hard to like reattach myself. Because it's just like, yeah, you knew that they would die, but you're just leaving them alive because you don't want them to die yet.
Yeah, otherwise it'd be a very short story, a very short movie.
Otherwise, it would be a short story.
That all? What else?
I'm trying to think what else. Like the part of the arc that I think he's supposed to learn is the fact that like he can't do everything on his own. Like that's what he's supposed to like learn from when he sees like the commercial with him and Luigi, and he's supposed to be like, oh, of course, I need my number two. I need my brother along here. Which we can talk about Luigi in just a sec, but for now, I just want to like leave it at like I don't think they develop him enough like in this film to like warrant him being like an equal to Mario, because they literally have him start the film by saying I have weak knees, which is supposed to be the justification as to why Luigi is good at platforming, and yet like in the climax of the movie, he's like as competent as Mario is, which kind of bothers me a lot.
Well, at least he had some cool moments, because, like, that was my biggest concern with Luigi. Because, like, we all knew he was gonna be kidnapped instead of Peach, and my biggest concern was him just being completely useless. Like, I know Luigi does get kidnapped on several occasions, and he's cowardly, but, like, he's not completely useless. But at least they delivered on that. They at least gave him some cool moments, which I'm at least glad. I know you'll probably say, oh, it's kind of rushed, but you know what? It's probably better than just him cowering in fear. And just not doing anything.
I want this payoff. Like, I want him and Mario to, like, succeed in defeating Bowser together. The problem is, like, the foundation that it's on. Like, it's just, they haven't done enough to, like, really build up Luigi to be as competent as his brother. And so, as a result, it just kind of, like... It's why I compare this movie so much to Endgame, because, like, Endgame has, like, a lot of payoffs that people want to see, but the problem is that, like, a lot of the payoffs are, like, a lot of them are rushed, and they don't get, like, enough build-up towards them. And so they just, like, I mean, they fulfill, like, what people want to see. And for a lot of people that don't really look into movies that deep, it's, like, enough for them, but the problem is that, like, in the long run, it's not going to hold up very well to scrutiny. And I think this is one of those, like, payoffs.
I guess you're right. Like, maybe if Luigi did not get kidnapped, maybe the movie would have been like a little bit better. Like, no one has to get kidnapped. Like, not even Peach, which we'll talk about later.
I would argue that if you absolutely had to have it to where Luigi was kidnapped, at least make it to where he breaks out of his own cell, like of his own volition. Because when you get like the annoying nihilistic Luma, like constantly chattering down in like everyone's ear, it kind of like. Again, I don't really like that Luma, but when you get that, like I thought the movie was like building up Luigi's like anger towards it, and that the payoff would be that he like busts out of the cage himself just because like he couldn't handle like hearing this thing anymore, just constantly going on and on about death and how like everything is inevitable. It's like I thought that was going to be the payoff, but instead it's like no, it's just the funny joke Luma, and then Luigi has to suffer more. Hooray! Which I imagine for Luigi fans that's very annoying and disappointing to like hear, is the fact that yeah, for a huge majority of this movie he does get captured and like doesn't get to do anything really.
Till near the end.
And what annoys me the most is that it almost feels like the writers like set it up as though they weren't gonna like have that happen, because like you get like the flashback when a hyperly like accurate baby Luigi and baby Mario.
Yeah, that was cute.
Like, happened in the movie. Yeah, that was cute. My issue is the fact that like you show me that, and the idea is that like Mario is always looking out for Luigi, and like you'd think the idea with that would be the setup is Luigi's always been like weak and pathetic, but then it's like he would grow out of that and become like a much stronger person. The problem is that you don't get that until the climax. And for the huge majority of the time, you're just waiting around for like this character to do anything, just anything at all, and he just does nothing. Like, hell, they even like character assassinate him a little bit here because he even gives up like who Mario is instead of like keeping that to himself. Which like for everything that like they've basically been trying to say, going, oh, Luigi cares a whole lot about Mario because of da 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 da. Yeah, and then you hear him like give up Mario's like identity as entirely. I don't know. It's just like something about that irked me. I really didn't like that at all.
Hmm. Yeah. I guess maybe Luigi could have been like handled a little bit better. So is that all you got to say about Luigi? I want to move on to Peach. We'll get to Luma soon, later.
Yeah, we can talk about each one's in the order you want. It's just that's all I had to say on Luigi specifically.
So Peach, let's start with her origin. So in the movie, it's basically explained that she came that she how do I put this? She grew up in the Mushroom Kingdom. She wandered into Warp Pipe and just found herself in the kingdom and kind of grew up to be the princess. How do you feel about that? I like it. I feel like it at least gave us an explanation on how this human girl wandered into this fantasy world. Um, how do you think? I'm sure you're just very conflicted at this point.
Like I do like the idea that like Peach isn't originally from here, but it kind of gives me like this. For those that remember Sonic One, like the movie, it kind of gives me like the same vibes as like the Echidna people, because like the Echidna people feel like they were going to be like a setup for another movie to like explain where they come from. I feel like they're trying to do the same thing with Peach, where it's like they're trying to set up this idea that she doesn't actually know where exactly she came from, which is why she's like asking Mario back a whole bunch of like questions of what the real world is like, because she literally just stumbled into like this other world essentially. And so I think that's sequel bait, and I'm sure that if the second movie were to happen, which I don't see why it wouldn't, because I'm sure this movie's going to be very, very successful. Because just look at the reactions it's generated from people. It's like loads of people are loving this movie. Um, but like, I guess my issue is the fact that it kind of like until we get that explanation for where exactly Peach came from, it kind of makes her off to be a bit of a Mary Sue, because it's like as a baby, she literally just so happened to stumble upon like the nice part of the kingdom, and she just so happens to run into a bunch of people who were like nice enough to like raise her and basically train her up to be like their princess essentially. Also, she's like incredibly like capable physically. Also, she defeats the main villain before the climax even happens. So, yeah, it's just it really gives me like strong Mary Sue vibes from this version of Peach. Whereas in the games, it's like she's nothing like this at all. Not even in the RPGs. And we've said it a lot of times, but like, if you were to include Daisy in this Mario continuity, like it would just be another movie Peach essentially.
Well,
Because like this, they have a lot of the same personalities. It's like princesses that don't quite act like princesses, and more just act like warriors in gowns.
well, I think the difference between Peach and Daisy is that like Peach is more graceful, whereas Daisy is more energetic. I think that's how they could like establish Daisy if she were to appear in like a sequel.
Potentially, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how I would like include Daisy, um, especially with with the current continuity, because the whole idea of Daisy is that she's supposed to be a more aggressive version of Peach, where she isn't like the pretty princess type. Um, but like still, I feel like they really missed the ball with Peach. It feels like it would have like I think it would have benefited her more if she were like the type of leader that was like mature but still like understanding and kind-hearted enough. Like the scene where she basically like agrees with Bowser on the deal of he'll leave everybody alone. Like he'll leave everybody alone as long as she marries him.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll talk about
that
that
was
later.
probably the closest we ever got to like her actually acting like as Peach. But other than that, it's like she really just feels like an entire other person. And I don't know. It's like when you're trying to tell me that that this movie's like extremely faithful to the games, it's like you always gotta like bring up Peach and how she's like nothing like the games. And especially now with like with Shigeru Miyamoto himself, like basically contradicting himself, going, "Oh, we always want to make Peach a strong, independent leader," and it's like, no, you didn't. Like, we played nearly all of your games. Like, most of the time, Peach is in a supporting role at best, and like the few times she was ever playable is like in less than 5 games, even. So, yeah, it's a classic case of death of the author, where, for those that don't know, basically death of the author is when someone that like created their own like stories and whatnot basically says something that contradicts what the actual story is. So, for example, if George Lucas said that Star Wars is about a story of penguins learning to fly, and that would be like an example where the author is clearly wrong about their and misinterpreting their own work. And I think Shigeru Miyamoto is doing the same here, probably to like save face and try to like make this version of Peach like more acceptable to like the masses, which I'm not really sure how people like feel about that in terms of consensus. I haven't seen enough on that front, but as for me personally, I'm very much not a fan of this version of Peach.
Well, I I enjoyed her. I enjoyed that. I like the idea that she is empowering, especially in this day and age where female empowerment is a thing. So, I mean, I'm sure some people would have preferred her being kidnapped. I would have been fine with it. But I don't know. Anyways, is that all I have to say about Peach? Let's get to Bowser. Cause oh man, I absolutely loved the anime film / Super Mario Odyssey reference with Bowser. Holy crap! Like, it just brought a smile to my face. I know like Super Mario Odyssey's like semi-recent, but still, it's really true to form with the Mario mythos, how Bowser wants to marry Peach. I honestly thought we wouldn't get that, but we got it, and I just giggled. It was just so good. Do you think it's a bit cliche, honestly?
I think character-wise he is a cliche, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I will say though, like, his obsession with Peach, like, it could have easily been like the worst parts of the movie, but they actually like managed to find like a good balance between like poking fun at him for this and like also like making it funny without being like, you know, overtly like creepy or cringy or anything like that. And you have Jack Black as Bowser himself. It's like, oh, that's such a fitting choice, especially when you hear like the Bowser's Fury theme like playing as.
Oh yeah, that I loved it.
That's very, very good. Then yeah, you can like tell it's just the same song because like the ending credits even confirm as much.
We'll talk about the music later for sure. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you want to talk about Toad now?
Just real quick though,
Oh.
I'm annoyed that because Bowser also has like an original music number in this, which
Yep.
apparently was constructed by Jack Black himself. You never get to hear the full version of this, and I'm very upset at that.
I mean, did you even stay for the post-credit scene?
I did stay for the post-credit scene. But like, so yeah, I do know about Yoshi, but
Yeah.
you don't get the full version of this song ever. Like, it's always been interrupted, like by something, because like this movie has like such an obsession with like just interrupting things before it gets too serious or before it goes in a specific direction. Like, it's just it's like a common infection with like modern comedy where it's like, uh-oh, we're about to be serious, but then silly moment happens, and it's like and I feel like the song itself is like already pretty funny as is. Like, you don't need an interruption moment for this, but they still insist on it, and it makes me sad. Because like now I feel like the only way I can hear this song is not in the movie, but like just from outside sources, like when they inevitably release like the official soundtrack for this, which I'm sure will be a great listen, but still, it's kind of bothering me that like you don't get to like hear the full thing.
Well, to be honest, I was expecting Bowser's musical number to be all punk rock. I didn't expect it to be a piano thing. But it was still enjoyable.
Because I saw that in the trailer. That was like one of the most intriguing parts of it that I found from those trailers. Like, he's like sitting there and he's got like a piano, and I'm like, wait, are you actually gonna do character stuff with this, or are you just gonna?
I honestly thought it was an electric organ.
Yeah.
But at least they labeled the piano Ludwig von Koopa. That I appreciate.
Yeah. Whether or not Ludwig does exist in this universe or not, I guess that's up to the sequel, right? But
Yeah.
still.
Okay. Want to talk about Toad?
Yeah. Toad is a plot device in this movie. There's not much character really on him. He literally just delivers Mario to Peach, and then delivers Peach like flowers, and then that's it. And it's like, and he's also the reason why Peach even agrees to get kidnapped in the first place. So ultimately, Toad is not a character. He's just like a plot device. Very similar to America Chavez and like Multiverse of Madness. It's like there's not really much there in terms of a character, which it's a shame too because I really like his voice actor, and I think his interpretation of like the Toad voice is probably easily one of the best ones I've ever heard, because Toad typically has like a very annoying voice, but like he managed to find a good balance between like scratchy and comedic, which I very much appreciate. Other than that, there's not much else I can really say about him. Oh wait, actually there is. Like early in the movie, when you like first meet him, he tells Mario that like a blue mushroom is like perfectly fine. But then it's like when you're in the arena and he eats one, it's a serious disadvantage for Mario because he just turns tiny without the super speed or without the super jump of like the games. So it's just a detriment for him, which is kind of weird and awkward from like the film's perspective. But
Yeah, well, I guess that's kind of the detriment when you're dealing with generic Mario characters. Like, I think that's the problem with Paper Mario, or modern Paper Mario, and how they choose to focus more modern characters. So you're just gonna see a bunch of Toads, Goombas, nothing unique. Yeah.
It's just I would have preferred that he at least have some funny lines, but like the most he did was just get like a small smile out of me for a majority of his lines. Like nothing really stuck with me, to be honest with you.
Well, I still thought he was a fun character.
Nothing related to him stuck out to me that much.
Yeah. Alright. Next, let's talk about the Kongs, including Donkey Kong and Cranky Kong. I guess let's start with Donkey Kong first. What did you think?
Actually, do you want to give your voice? Because like I've been talking for a while. This is your stream, so I imagine people want to hear your opinions first before mine.
Okay, so for Seth Rogen, I enjoyed his portrayal of Donkey Kong, especially with his arc and his like relationship with his dad, Cranky Kong. I think it's probably something that like I guess most people can relate to. Like DK is this like spoiled prince, but like he just wants to like make his father be proud of him and all that stuff. But yeah, he got some pretty cool moments. As for Cranky Kong, so I was listening to Andre from Game Explain's review on this movie, and one of his complaints was Cranky Kong, like he didn't like his voice. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try. Huh?
I think I'm with Andre on that.
Oh.
Like his voice either, but continue.
Yeah, I was like trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, maybe it's not that bad because like I know they're like with Cranky Kong, like they're trying to go with they're trying to reimagine him as the Elder King, and like okay, yeah, I think might be a little bit of a problem. Like you say that Chris Pratt was a miscast. No, I think Cranky Kong might have been a miscast.
Yeah, he comes across very uncanny, very unnatural sounding, to be honest with you. Like, a majority of his line deliveries are very unenthusiastic, or just, like, because they clearly wanted to be, like, the kind of character that just doesn't care about anything, but I think they went too far. Well, the voice just sounds so bored and slow, and he ends up, like, dragging down a lot of the pace. In terms of characterization, like, there's not much I can think of, really. Well, like, it's pretty straightforward, and I don't have a problem with any of it. It's just the voice. I think the voice was, just a serious miscast. Either that or, like, the actor just needed to actually care, but who knows.
Yeah. Well, maybe when we get that Donkey Kong film, he will actually care. Maybe he'll improve. But I really did enjoy the portrayal of Kong of the Kong Kingdom, especially how they utilized carts and incorporated Mario Kart into it.
It felt kind of weird to me because like it's a mishmash of like two different aesthetics. Because like they want like technology, but at the same time they want like the aesthetics of like the Aztecian like buildings and constructions and whatnot because they're monkeys, and so like it just feels like a bit of a disconnect to me. Like it felt like Wakanda, where it's like it couldn't make up its mind as to whether or not it wanted to focus on like the tribal aesthetic or the tech aesthetic, and tried to just have both at the same time.
I didn't really feel that disconnect. I was assuming that the whole mishmash was supposed to be in reference to Diddy Kong Racing. Or maybe that's just me. Me neither. Yes. I did like how they incorporated Mario Kart. You want to talk about Kamek? I feel like he didn't really stand out too much. And he's like the first character you see.
I liked his voice a lot in this, but in terms of characters, actually, I will say this: the film just completely forgot that he existed because there's like a point to where he like lets go of the star and then he just disappears for the rest of the movie, and like the movie just never addresses him ever, which again leads me to believe that they want a sequel bait and have it to where he's the one that like breaks Bowser out of jail.
That probably could be it.
Which, you know, that would like make some sense, but until then, like it's just an unaddressed like plot point in the story.
All right. Now let's talk about Spike. Holy crap. What can I say? I honestly did not expect this this old character from the Famicom era to appear in a modern Mario movie. Like,
oh, was he? I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, you didn't notice? Like, he was like near the beginning, like he was insulting Mario, like he was insulting the Mario Bros.
I know what you're talking about. I just didn't know that he was like a reference to the older like games.
Oh, you didn't know he was in a like he's actually a Nintendo character and wasn't just made up?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he first appeared in the Wrecking Crew, which you could see on his cap. By the way, he kind of looks like he's kind of dressed like Fix-It Felix, which I feel like could just be Illumination taking a stab at how some people were saying, "Oh, Nintendo's copying Disney," but no, really, Disney was copying Nintendo. Like Fix-It Felix is legitimately a Mario clone.
Wreck-It Ralph is literally a Donkey Kong clone.
Yeah. But, I was a little bit disappointed with Spike because I was expecting him to, like, have, like, some importance. My whole prediction was that he was gonna be the reason why the bros were in the sewers, which leads them to the Mushroom Kingdom. Like, he was gonna, like, either, like, trick them or, like, wreck the New York sewer system. But no, he didn't do it. And that's kind of a missed opportunity when he's from a game called Wrecking Crew. Don't you think?
Yeah, I suppose.
Like,
but because the movie ultimately just frames him as like a bully type character, so yeah, you'd expect him to be like there a bit more often, but he's only there like I think twice.
yeah, it was really, I'm like a little bit disappointed because I feel like Spike is probably more true to form as the Bluto archetype, because, like, you know, obviously Donkey Kong is supposed to be the Bluto archetype along with Wario. I consider Spike to be like the second of the Bluto. And he's probably more true to that, because Bluto just originally started off as just a one-off character in the comics until, like, the films just popularized him. But yeah, I'm just a little bit disappointed. I mean, I'm glad Spike's in this movie. I never would have imagined, but still. I feel like it was kind of a missed opportunity.
really seen that major of a character to me anyway, so I wasn't really too bothered by it. But, yeah.
I guess, like...
Speaking of the, just real quick, like, do you remember when, like, the beginning of the movie, it says that, like, where Pauline says that like, the pipes, like, bursted out, and, like, all of, like, Brooklyn is, like, filled with water?
Yeah.
It's like, that plotline just immediately stops happening, like, as soon as Mario and Luigi travel to, like, the other world. And it's like, the moment we come back, everything's just normal again.
I'm guessing they already fixed it. Because, well, they disappeared.
It's just kind of weird that, like, they would make such a big deal out of this, but then they have it to where the bros don't even, like, fix it proper.
I mean, come on. How incompetent could New York plumbers be? Other than Mario and Luigi?
That's actually a good question. I guess my interpretation of it was just the fact that I thought this would be something that they would come back to, and that they would be able to, like, repair. Because the way that I thought this movie would end was that Mario and Luigi would have to make the choice to, like, return to the real world, and so as a result, like, they would basically return there, and then they would finish the job, and then that would be, like, part of some arc of some kind. Instead, it just goes completely insane and, like, does something else entirely. Which, I mean, on the one side, it makes me lose a bet. Because, like, I bet in the movie that they would, like, return to the real world because of responsibilitisms. So, it's not much. I just lost $1 from it, but...
Okay, and I guess we'll end off with the character section, it being the Luma Lee. Do you got anything to say?
I'm so, like, the only joke it has is that, oh, I want to die. We're all going to die. It's just this incredibly nihilistic, like, cutesy-looking character, and it only has one joke, and I despise it every second.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, its toy was leaked on, it was shown off at McDonald's, and we were like, what the heck? Why is this Luma here? Maybe it could be important. And then it turns out it wasn't. Like, no Rosalina, nothing.
They do reference galaxies, and a lot of people have theorized already that, like, Rosa's going to be in the second movie. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if people are already making theories saying that, oh, Rosa's going to be Peach's mom. She sent her to this place to, like, keep her safe from something.
I'm hoping if Rosalina's gonna be in the sequel, I'm hoping she doesn't have any relationship to Peach, because I don't like that theory. The exact theory that Matt Pat made, which I think is really dumb. I don't want to go into it, but just know, just because something's scrapped doesn't mean it's canon. So yeah.
I mean, it's ultimately up to, like, the writers or the character designs or whoever to, like, determine what is and, like, isn't relevant for, like, the characters. So yeah. I mean, if they say that, like, some old concepts are, like, actually canon, then that's, like, on them to present that. But if it's not, then I mean, we can easily discard that.
All right. So I guess let's talk about that post-credit scene. How?
The one with Bowser or the other one?
The other one, Yoshi.
Oh, yeah. I'm not really sure what exactly they want me to, like, think about that, to be honest with you, because it's like you only see the Yoshis, like, a grand total of, like, once in this whole film, which is honestly shocking to me because, like, they made a model for Yoshi, and they made, like, 1 million clones for them, and they even made, like, the fruit that they eat. But, like, then they only show it for, like, one scene, and that's it. And it's during, like, the montage, so you'd be forgiven for forgetting about their existence. I guess it's kind of weird for me because, like, normally in, like, 2D animated films, you don't think about it that often. But, like, with 3D ones, it's kind of, like, a bit more prevalent, I feel, because, like, and this is probably going to be a hot take for some animation people here, but, like, the 3D stuff is harder to make than 2D stuff, and it takes more time as well, so, especially to make it look good, so it's like, yeah, it's kind of odd to me that they would, like, make, like, a Yoshi model and, like, even give it, like, a voice and everything, but then they wouldn't do anything with it, except make it, like, a post-credit thing, which, a little odd, but,
Well, I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be like setting up for the sequel, which I'm honestly very excited for because, as most people should know, I grew up with Super Mario World. Yoshi means a lot to me, so I honestly can't wait to see uh, how they portray Yoshi. They obviously used the exact same voice clip for Yoshi, so hopefully they're not gonna do something really dumb and just have like cast some like really famous actor or something voice Yoshi. It'll just be recycled voice clips.
Possible because they use Bowser's like original voice like roars and whatnot.
Oh
But
yeah.
they still have like Jack Black saying lines. So I think it is possible for them to like still use like a voice actor for Yoshi, but like good luck with that, you know.
Well, I mean, like Yoshi, like unlike the other characters that we just discussed, like Yoshi's voice is like super iconic. You can't replace it. It's very unique. And if they did do that, then I would be a little bit disappointed. But I guess that just depends who the actor is and how they portray it.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of the same boat. It's like I need to see what the voice is and what it would like come across as, but like yeah, I'm not totally against the idea of Yoshi having a voice. I'm just concerned who you would even cast to like voice him.
So yeah. So I guess that is it with most of the characters. Let's talk about some of the moments that we absolutely enjoyed. So Munis, why don't you go first?
I mentioned before I like Bowser's music number for this a lot. In terms of character arcs, I think there's only like two that I really enjoyed, but one of them's kind of. So the first one was like Luigi's. The second one was Donkey Kong's. Donkey Kong surprisingly had like a fairly decent arc in this movie. He goes from being like an incredibly prideful and like full of himself like warrior type character to a frenemy of Mario that basically learns to like put pride as secondary. Like in the sense of like he'll boast like later, but he'll take the situation seriously first, which there's definitely like out of all the things like writing wise that the story has to offer, it's like I think that's one of the only ones that like remains functional compared to like all the other things that happens. But yeah. As far as other moments go, I already mentioned Bowser, and a lot of my praise comes from like how he's like written. And he ends up being like the funniest parts of the movie for me. I'm trying to think what else. The acting for the most part is pretty fine-ish to like downright good. I think Charlie Day and Jack Black are probably like the best parts of the film for me. Mostly because like Charlie Day as like Luigi is such a fantastic like casting choice. For anybody that knows It's a Sunny Day in Philadelphia, it's like I think you'll know exactly what I mean when I say that like Charlie Day's amazing.
Yeah, just like one clip.
They don't give him that much to work with in this. They don't give him much to work with in this story, unfortunately. But the few things that he does do, it's like I think I only have praise for it really. And yeah, as for Jack Black, it's like he knows how to be funny. Like I think it's just very obvious. It's like he easily makes what could have been cringy moments just the best parts of the film. The nickname Peaches is kind of hilarious. Because, like, I guess it works as both, like, an adult joke and, like, a pet name for Peach that he invented for her. Because, like, the adult term is just that, it's referencing her ass, which this movie really likes her ass, okay? Like, they constantly have a lot of, like, moments that sort of, basically show it at any point. Like, there's a point where she literally, like, she's on the bike, and she's looking at Mario with, like, a smile, and her fucking rump is just, like, so pronounced in that shot that I can't help but, like, tell that this was clearly made intentionally by, like, the animator people. So there's that. I'm glad that they're not, like, too afraid to, like, shy away from stuff like that, even if it's not, like, whether or not it's, like, intentional or overt, it's, like, I'm perfectly fine with that. The fire flower is like very odd in this film because like apparently to destroy it you can just blow it out like a candle.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. Like, when I saw that, I was like, what the heck? Oh my god.
Yeah, the fire flower, the big. That's another thing. Mario does not get to use flowers in this movie at all. He only eats mushrooms and he.
Yeah. And even puked.
He only eats mushrooms and the star. He has the cat and Tanuki powers, but like that's about as far as it goes. Also, speaking of Mario, I completely forgot to mention this because I mentioned it in my tweets, but like, when he's like directing the bonsai bill, like back to his homeworld, did no one else like raise an eyebrow at that? They're like, wait, Mario, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know. I was kind of like that. Like, why are you directing it to that warp pipe? Like, couldn't you have just like, I guess like maybe if he had directed it to Bowser's Castle, that probably wouldn't be a good idea. But like, I don't know. There probably wasn't a lot of options for him.
I just suggested that he take it to somewhere remote, like the ocean, for example. Cause,
I guess so.
He's gonna miss a blooper, cheap cheaps. It's like they're enemies anyway, so. And plus, they never established any like actual hierarchies or any city life or anything like that in this movie. So it's like that's still like a viable option to put the bonsai bill. Instead, they put it to like the world pipe, which I thought. When my little brother and I saw that for the first time, we genuinely thought that. By the way, we're doing spoilers for the Mario movie. Go away.
I don't give a shit about the Mario movie.
All right, that's your fault then. So when he like destroys the pipe that leads back to his homeworld, like we genuinely thought that was gonna be like the decision he makes that basically prevents him from going back home ever. But instead, it creates like a black hole that like sucks them all in and then poops them out in the real world with like Bowser's Castle and everything, which I guess you could interpret that as like a reference to the 90s film, like the live action one, but when Bowser like crosses over to the real world. But I don't know, it still felt like that decision was made like without any like actual concern for Mario, and he was a little too enthusiastic of it, despite the fact that out of all people he should know that this is like where that this pipe like leads somewhere. And plus, it's incredibly small too, so I don't know what exactly he was thinking during that scene. It just felt very, very strange.
Yeah.
But enough about me. How about you list some of your moments in this?
Okay, well, first off, I just remembered that I actually had a complaint with the movie. One of my complaints is that I really wish they didn't rely heavily on, or I guess like not heavily. They didn't rely on, like, some pop music. Like, for example, like, Bonnie Tyler's I'm Holding Out for a Hero or Take Me On or stuff like that. Because, like, I think for, like, the training course, I feel like they could have just used, like, We Were Born to Play. You know, the song that was played in the Super Nintendo World promotional trailer. I felt like that would have made a lot more sense. I'm sure you would disagree on that, but I don't know.
I do agree. I think the real work, like the real life music, was like incredibly distracting. But like anything that came from the games or was even like originally constructed, I'm like okay with, to be honest with you, because it's like out of everything, like I think the most fitting piece of music in this entire movie is like when they have like the fanfare of like the trumpets and whatnot playing like the Kingdom theme. That was probably like the most like organic use of fan service I think I've seen in this entire movie. But other than that, yeah, it's like I don't have much else to say about the OST other than don't use more original songs instead of like real songs, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, just like use Nintendo songs and not like royalty-free songs or just like not use just not use pop songs, because like that was like one of the good things about the trailers. They weren't using any pop songs at all.
I mean, at least the song collection that they have is like quality, because like I do like these songs. It's just
yeah, me too.
They belong in this movie.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, my favorite moments, I enjoyed Mario battling Donkey Kong, especially when he had to rely on some of the power-ups. I know you might not like that, I know some people might not like that, but that's the fun of Mario. Because, like, if you don't have a power-up, then, like, that kind of becomes a little bit difficult. Like, whether you're playing the games or, like, I guess progressing through the story, like trying to solve a puzzle or anything.
I was gonna say that's one of my praises for the film, because like that adds to like Donkey Kong's arc. Because if you remember in the movie, he says that he doesn't need power-ups; it's just for like the human or whatever. And so it's like that's already adding to like his arrogance and overconfidence and like his abilities, which ultimately leads to like his downfall. As for the power, like the fight choreography itself, I am honestly so shocked to say that like they do not hold back on like punching people from this, because normally in animated kids movies you don't really get like action per se, like in the sense of like people fighting one another, like delivering like punches and all that. It's usually like revolved down to lame sword choreography, or just like they attack each other with silly things. So to actually see characters like straight up punch each other like in the gut and in the face, like, and get thrown into things, it's like there's a sort of viscerality towards it that is actually kind of refreshing, to be honest with you. Which I didn't expect a Mario movie of all things to have this, but like, I'm kind of glad that we're sort of stepping into the realm of like, yeah, even if it's a kids thing, like we're okay with like people, punching each other. Like we're becoming more and more lenient with that, and I'm like all for it, to be honest with you.
I like to think of it as a reference to Super Mario 64, since that was probably the only time Mario could ever punch. I guess you could also count Smash Bros. Yeah, I guess you could count Smash Bros, but still. Let's see, what else? There's the wedding scene. I enjoyed that a lot. I also liked how they showed King Babam and King Boo. And to be honest, I did not think King Babam would have a fuse. I thought that was a little bit funny. But yeah.
I didn't see him having a fuse. But like, where did King Boo go?
Ooh. Well, let's consider the fact that the wedding was set in the daytime. So,
But he's there in the daytime though.
I don't know, ghosts are weird. And
So that's the thing, it's like, I asked my little brother that because he's usually more attentive about this stuff than I am, and it's like, especially because he's a huge Luigi fan, we both had no idea where King Boo went during the whole fight, so the next time we rewatch this with my folks, it's like, that's like the one thing we're going to be keeping an eye on, is like, where does he go in this?
where did King Boo go?
We just blip out of existence. Because I legit have no idea where he went. Because they talk about like the King Babam and all that, and there's even like a small joke where like he accidentally hits like a Koopa shell and it bounces off of him, and he just casually stops it. But yeah, not sure where King Boo went though, and it's the usual Mario design of King Boo, where it's like it's just a big Boo with a crown on it, instead of it being like the sunken eyes and the diamond like jewel crown that he like is known for in the Luigi's Mansion games. Sorry.
And
So, hello, Impel.
yeah, hello, Impel.
Spoilers, by the way.
And let's see. Last one I enjoyed. I enjoyed the battle in Brooklyn. That one was really cool. Was seeing the Mario Bros. Defeat Bowser, especially with the tail swing, but with Luigi. Awesome. I didn't think we would get that. I mean, like, there's like several ways that Mario could have fought Bowser, like how they could have set up the Bowser battle. But I'm glad they at least kept that from Mario 64.
So what's the consensus basically between you two?
I enjoyed the movie.
I think since it's 7, I think it's like around a 4-ish. I have the asterisk that I really enjoyed this movie, but like in terms of structure, I think it's pretty flawed in a lot of areas.
Yeah, well, you have to keep in mind, like, this is Nintendo's, like, first movie, so I'm willing to, like, excuse some of the flaws.
You gave it a 7?
He gave it a 7. I gave it a 4.
Wait, I thought you gave it a 7? That's low. Than I expected.
Yeah, because, like,
Because he doesn't normally give out number ratings, right?
no.
No. Yeah. I'm curious then. Okay, so what did you guys disagree with, or what you guys agreed with, basically?
Well, we had a disagreement with Chris Pratt, and well, we had sort of a disagreement with the Mario Bros. And Peach. The one things that we were in agreement with was Cranky Kong, Kamek.
We didn't like his voice. We thought that either the voice actor didn't try hard enough, or like the direction was just off, and we weren't a fan of it. But we disagreed on that. We disagreed with the Mario voice as well. I can't remember if we disagreed on like any Mario characterization things, because overall I basically said, because Otaku went at the perspective of like he came away with the perspective that Mario's like the everyman, so like everything he does is relatively fine-ish in terms of his performance. I wasn't really a fan of it because I don't think it captures like Mario as like a character, because a lot of his like a lot of his grunts and like sounds that are supposed to like indicate like basically just investment, a lot of it was missing. I felt
A lot of it is it just Chris Pratt phoning it in?
yeah, a lot of it is, and like because when he gets like punched in the gut and whatnot, he just goes like so instead of it being something that like sounds like it hurts, like going fuck, like instead it just sounds like
I didn't really
like,
get that vibe.
Like Kenny getting hit or Cartman.
I'm very interested in an Otaku's 7 out of 10, because that seems kind of a stable mind opinion. Okay.
Well, at least consider this, Impel. You'll be more entertained with this compared with The Little Mermaid or something from the MCU.
I'm excited for Guardians. What are you talking about?
Okay then. Well, if I hear any bad reviews of Guardians Volume 3, then I'm probably gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna hold you to saying some very nice things about it.
What? Me too, and which the movie came out. I say the Guardians movies have been at least consistent within 1, 2, and I don't dislike them. So, no, I don't think so. I think Guardians 1 and 2 are really good, and I always go back to watch them because I think they're fun. They're not masterpieces, but it's just a lot of fun, and I do feel emotions when I see them.
Yeah, well, I felt a lot of emotions when I watched the Mario movie.
That's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, basically. Looks like Dink didn't feel anything, because you didn't watch it, did you?
I mean, he straight up admitted that like he doesn't care about it.
Yeah, he sucks.
Okay. All the other voice actor, about all the other voices, basically. Do you guys think they're on point or fine?
I mean, for me, the praises were from Luigi, Bowser, and Cranky Kong's voice. Oh, not Cranky Kong, sorry.
Donkey Kong.
Kamek's voices. Those were the ones that I think were highlights. I also liked Toad's voice. I thought it was surprisingly like both on character, yet still like not being exactly the same as like the annoying scratchy voice that you're accustomed to listening to.
Here's my favorite.
What was I? Oh, yeah, that was like my praises. I think the weakest parts were Chris Pratt's Mario and the voice actor that did Cranky Kong, and sometimes Peach. Like I say sometimes because like when she's doing the whole like in the third act when she's basically like trying to get everybody out of the kingdom, like she's supposed to sound super urgent, and yet she just kind of sounds like she's a little sad. Like only just a little like. She has like the kind of attitude you'd hear from someone that just had like their ice cream cone like knocked out of their hand.
Well, of course, because like she thought Mario died.
Did Peach overtake Mario in this movie?
No, I don't necessarily think so.
Otaku, she defeats Bowser like almost instantaneously.
Wait, what?
Yes. She gets like a plan to like basically marry him, but but then she asks Toad to like off screen grab like an ice flower, so that way she can like use it for the wedding. And then she like busts out the ice flower, freezes the chain that's about to like drop the prisoners in like lava, and then she freezes Bowser like nearly instantaneously as soon as she gets the chance.
Okay,
It's
maybe
like,
you have somewhat of a point.
no, that's not the end of Bowser, but like the fact that she's able to like do that towards the big villain, it kind of just undermines him a little bit. I feel like it makes him weaker for it, because it's like, oh, this guy that like you need to like use the strongest like power to defeat, he's actually not that difficult to stop.
Okay, so Moon's opinion, Peach does overtake in this movie. What about you, Ataga?
I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of like or I don't know how I should say this. I still feel like Mario had at least some importance. Like, Peach did not, like, steal the entire... Like, the whole movie just isn't, like, Peach being OP and shit. I mean, like, she does have some empowering moments. But, like, we need to remember that this is Mario. He still has to rescue Luigi as he traverses through this fantastical world.
Okay. So, what I think is basically Peach had a pivotal moment, but ultimately Mario's the one that slayed the dragon.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess I could frame it like that. Like, I don't know. It's like when it kind of has like the same energy as like in the movie The Predator, made by Shane Black. Like when they just defeat like the main monster at like the beginning of the film, it kind of has the same energy as that when she defeats Bowser, where it's like, oh, he just feels like a weaker character for this.
Well, he was most certainly not weak in the fight in Brooklyn.
Well, I almost... That's the thing, it's like, the fight in Brooklyn reminds me a lot of the fight in, like, Sonic 2, like, the movie, where it's like Sonic is just the most overpowered, like, thing in existence to the point where nothing can even make him flinch. Like, it's kind of got the same energy here, where it's just, like, you're kind of just watching these two characters just, like, they're supposed to be, like, fighting, and it's supposed to be, like, this big old struggle, but, like, then it's just... But, like, the only thing really... Like, I guess the problem is the fact that, like, there's, like, no struggle in it, really. It's just clearly, like, Mario and Luigi are gonna win. And I don't mean in the sense of, like, oh, there should only be, like, a struggle or anything like that, or only advantageous or disadvantageous. I guess, my point being, it's, like, there's no, like, struggle towards it. They just kind of, like, press the win button, if you know what I mean. Because as soon as they get the star, it's just over, and you're just waiting for the movie to, like, end its fight.
I mean, like, Mario almost could have died. Like when he had to hide from Bowser.
I suppose it's just like as soon as they get the star, it's just over. Like the movie's fight is pretty much just over because like nothing can damage them. Like absolutely nothing, and the movie makes it very, very clear.
Well, that's the power of the superstar.
Yeah, I know, but still, I kind of wish there was like a subversion where like he destroys the star so that he and Luigi like still have to try to defeat Bowser instead of just being able to run through everything. And it's like, I know there's some people that like that. I'm not one of them.
Well, I also like to think that it's also in reference to the anime film, where Mario had to use the 3 power-ups that were available at the time to defeat Bowser.
So you gave it a 4 out of 10, Moonus. A 4 out of 10, that's like an F rating. You know that, right?
Really? I thought it was a
I
D.
usually give it to like movies that I usually give it to like things where like they have like potential to like be way better, but they still end up being kind of brokenish. And this movie has like a lot of like broken bits that I think, like as is, I think there's like things here that don't really work that well. But I do see like small things here that are like worth salvaging. Hence why I say it's a 4 and not a 3. Because a 3 for me would be something like The Last Jedi or I'm trying to think what else. Like, because I know there's like a lot of like examples of what I give as like a 3, but it'd be something like that to where like the character and plot just don't really work that well. But there's like a very small chance that if it actually had some like tuning, it could be put good. 2 is like something where nothing really works that well, but at least the story isn't like absolute nonsense, and then 1 is just absolute nonsense. So this is more like the I'm not mad, I'm disappointed kind of range. If
We're not really we're gonna a 5 for you. Is there no way to make it a 5 out of 10?
If the protagonist had like a clear arc in this movie, which he kind of doesn't, and if like some character things actually got a bit stronger, I think it could be bumped up to a 6 potentially. As is, I think the only way to bump it up to a 5 is to like make the protagonist make his characterization stronger. Because as is, Mario just kind of already has he's already reached like the final form, if you know what I mean. And like, there's not much room for him to really change or grow as a character.
Yeah.
And what makes it even worse is the fact he's not even like the type of character that's like the force for change or the force for good, kind of like Sonic is in Frontiers. Or I guess to use a better example, like kind of like Doom Guy is in the games, where he's clearly like the force for like good change. Like he's not really to have like an arc per se. Like Mario doesn't have that really.
Really, because everyone else be also at their final version of themselves.
I guess I would argue so, because like I said before, Peach pretty much comes across as a Mary Sue in this movie, because like the way they literally introduce her is that she just so happens to stumble into this world once upon a time, and then like she gets all the preparation and all like the good stuff basically handed to her, and then the film tries to like rectify this a little bit by saying when she was ready she was awarded like the title of princess, but again, all of the training and preparation she needed to do was off screen, so it's like it just comes across as like almost nothing, like just hot air coming out of the writers. And I told this to Otaku, but to give them the benefit of the doubt, this is like sequel bait to basically expand more on like Peach's potential origin in this movie, or at least movie Peach's like origin. But until then, like as is, it's not exactly ideal. And as I said before, she like is able to instantly defeat Bowser. She's the one that ultimately makes like the plans to like go to the places. She may as well be the protagonist in this and Mario the Deuteragonist, I would go so far as to say. But yeah, and it's kind of unfortunate as well, because it's like I might not be super opposed to like the idea of like an empowered Peach. The problem is that they went way too far, because like they even go so far as to say that like she did the obstacle course on her first try, and it's like, are you serious? It's just, and like she never really gets enough like moments of like where her plans don't quite go so well.
I mean, her plan didn't really go so well. Like, she got the Kong army and Mario, but as we saw in the Rainbow Road scene, like, that kind of went to shit with that blue shell.
I mean, I suppose the problem is that like it almost wouldn't have mattered, because remember, she defeats the main villain by like tricking him into like getting like into a marriage with him. And it's like, I don't know, man. When you show me that, it kind of hurts the stakes, I think. When you just show me that, like, this character who basically only let Mario in just because he asked to be in, instead of her like going, okay, I need some help with this. It's like, I mean, the fact that she offered to like go alone, and all the council people there. By the way, there's like a council. It's like the Mushroom Kingdom is like a semi-democratic / hierarchy-based like government, which is kind of odd to think about. But like,
your title is princess.
Her title is princess, and yet she's part of a democracy. Yeah, she may as well be. But yeah, there's also like, I just realized this too. There's like a moment in this movie to where Mario starts to like fall in love with Peach. It doesn't really go anywhere. There's never like a payoff where she like kisses him on the cheek or anything.
Maybe we'll see it in a sequel.
Maybe, but until then, it's like we only have this movie to really work with, and so yeah, that's like, I mean, at that point, that's for like the people writing the sequels, like responsibility, ultimately to basically have that payoff. But yeah.
Well, like the Mario movie bogged the movie down for you?
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, subjectively, I'd still say I enjoyed it, but I think structurally, there's like a lot here that needs fixing. Or like to give them the benefit of the doubt, I feel like one more rewrite could have like helped things. But unless this was actually like, unless a lot of these are going to be like fixed in the sequel, which I imagine not, you know, we'll have to like that's what I mean, right? It's like sometimes it's hard to like be definitive with these criticisms because like we only have like the one movie to work with, and all we can do is like speculate for now and go, well, maybe the sequel will address it, but until it does, this is still like a problem in the film, and it's part of why I had to like constantly like catch myself saying this over and over again, because you know they could fix it in the next movie, but they could also completely forget about it. So,
I guess you're right.
so yeah, that's why I have that like disclaimer, just kind of like I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, but like until you know, until that happens.
What is Otaku, the one who was really excited for this movie, but gave it a 7 out of 10? What is your kind of overall opinion?
I absolutely enjoyed it. I feel like it had enough story for me to be happy with. In terms of Mario standards, I enjoyed a lot of the Easter eggs. Like, okay, it's not a perfect movie by any means, but I still enjoyed it, and, like, even if you're not a Mario fan, I think it'll be, like, a good way of, like, introducing you to, like, the world of Mario, or, like, give you a very good idea of, like, if you want to get into Mario, then, like, you should probably, like, watch this, considering that, like, this is an origin story of Mario, and, like, how he becomes the hero of the Mushroom Kingdom. Well, actually, not just the Mushroom Kingdom, Brooklyn as well. So yeah, I think you'll really enjoy it, Impel. Because, like, it does have, like, a lot of heart.
Okay, that seems cool. Yeah, good, cool. Are you satisfied with your video? Otaku?
Huh?
Are you excited? I assume you're streaming this.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So I guess before I wrap this review up, let's talk about our favorite Easter eggs. So, what's your favorite one, Munis?
I didn't realize it until someone told me about it, but like in the opening of the movie when you see like the television, you can see like all the paintings in the background.
Oh yes, the Punch-Out paintings.
Yes, that is a reference to when Mario was a referee in the very first one.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, I didn't know that at first, but now that I do, it's a nice little nod that I can appreciate. Charles Martinet easily being in the film in some way, shape, or form that isn't just like, oh, hello, it's me. Like, like for those that don't know, he's basically Mario's dad in this movie. Which, yeah, you get to see like a little bit of Mario's extended family in this movie. You get to see like his uncles, his grandparents, his dad and mom, and like his dad is voiced by Charles Martinet, who's the original actor for Mario. But yeah. I enjoyed that, like, because that just as its own thing. I enjoyed in terms of Easter eggs, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I like the Bowser's Fury song, because I guess that's technically an Easter egg. The inclusion of King Bomb, I enjoyed that, even though I think it's a stretch to call him an Easter egg. I think a cameo probably suits him better. I was not expecting Mario to play Kid Icarus at all.
I love that too. I hope we'll get a Kid Icarus movie.
I immediately recognized it from like the sound effects alone. I was like, wait a minute, I know that sound. And yeah, he was in like, for those that didn't know, he's basically in the early levels of Kid Icarus. So it's one of those NES games that like it starts out incredibly difficult, but then the more you progress, the easier it gets. So yeah, I did not expect that at all. Also didn't expect to see Mario gloveless. You can like see his disgusting human hands.
Well, I mean, Luigi was also gloveless in Mario Kart Tour in his chef outfit.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then I think the last thing that's like an Easter egg of any kind that I can think of is the I guess like I'm trying to think. It's like sorry, I know there's a lot of dead air, but my brain is like trying to process. Oh yeah, Pauline. Like Pauline being in this movie.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember now, and Oscar pointed this out. When he's in the sewers, like in the first time he goes to like the sewer level, you can actually see in like the background World 1-2.
Oh yeah. I think Game Explained pointed that out, and I don't think I saw it.
That was like actually kind of shocking to me, and I thought that the whole movie was gonna have some kind of like it was gonna do the Devil May Cry 3 thing to where like depending on the world you're in, it's gonna like give it like a reference to that. Like say for example you're in like the water world, it says like this is World 3-1 or something like that, like just in the background. But I was only able to catch like the 1-2. I didn't catch any of the other ones.
We're gonna get a Super Smash Brothers game.
I don't think we could because like the Sonic one is like live action. So,
I'm sure there's some way they could work it around, but who knows. So anyways, for my favorite Easter eggs, this one's kind of a joke, but I enjoyed when Mario had to encounter the Toad Guards. The Toad Guards were like, was like giving the reference to like, your princess is in another castle, which that certainly gave me some giggles. It was a really funny reference, especially coming from a Toad, if you know what I mean. Let's see, what else? So yeah, there was also Pauline, Baby Mario Bros. I'm trying to think what else. What else is a really funny Easter egg?
You're a funny Easter man.
There was of course the Bowser tail swing. That's like all the references I could think of off the top of my head that I absolutely enjoyed. Cause like yeah, like the film is littered with a bunch of Easter eggs, and I absolutely enjoyed them.
My back.
Red Pimple's back.
So yes, I think that's all we have to say about the movie. Like, any final thoughts, Moonis, before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's it. Like, cause, actually, one very last thing. I swear this is the last thing. So, the Mushroom Kingdom and the real world, they're like connected now, which like that's like a gold mine for world building right there. And it's like if they do make a sequel to this, like I really hope they do something with it instead of just ignore it and go, nah, we're just gonna focus on Rosalind stuff.
We can do Punch Out.
Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, because I feel like the Punch-Out Pizzeria...
The fact that, like, they like, have access... They like, have the rare access to, like, basically go, oh, you can, like, journey to the Mushroom Kingdom or something. Like, something cool that would, like, world-building-wise, but I feel like because it's a comedy, it's probably not gonna, like, care, unfortunately, which, you know, it's a bit of a shame, but, like, I feel like there's still plenty you can like do with that, both in terms of jokes and just in terms of, like I said, world building. So yeah, Goldmine there, Peach. Like I think it's obvious that they're gonna like focus on her, like in the next one, because there's no way she can just have like the origin of she just randomly shows up like to the Mushroom Kingdom. I think they are gonna do something more with that. But other than that, like I said, I think the movie's like very flawed, but I still enjoy my time with it.
Yeah. Well, I guess that all depends on how...
That's a good
on
question.
the amount of freedom Miyamoto's willing to give out.
We're into the phone.
It needed more Luigi.
There you go. It needed more Luigi.
Yes, hopefully we do get a Luigi's Mansion movie. Like, they only gave us, like nice references or, like, hints to it. So, yeah. But yeah, I think that is going to do it with this review. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed our review. Yeah, we should see him on